Hey guys, it's Aaron, Tiger, Hypo Tiger, however the hell you know me. I'm that guy who, if you know me from a while ago, I used to do speed runs. If you know me now, you probably only know because I'm the weeb loser who is moving to Japan. So that's what this video is basically going to be all about. Gonna update you guys basically what happened from my last update video, which was in June of 2023, which was my 3 year update video. So we're about 6, 7 months after that, and a lot has happened in life. A lot of has happened with Japanese, and I figured why not make a video and talk about it a little bit. I have no notes except for one little realization thing that I wrote down. I was gonna keep up with, but I didn't. um, but I have that, and then basically whatever's in my head and whatever I want to talk about. So sit back, get ready. Might be a little long video, but hopefully it is either helpful or just entertaining in some way. So, to start, in my 3 year update video, I mentioned that I got an internship in Japan. Like I went to Japan in May, had a great time, fun time, cool stuff. Uh, was getting a 3 month internship in Japan, and that internship started at the end of August and continued until mid November. So from August 20 something to November like 16th, I was in Japan, in Tokyo, living and doing job thing in Japan. It was a really cool experience because um, before that, like honestly, I think I talked about this in my last video before a little bit. I wasn't really going hard in Japanese at that time. I was really like I was playing games a lot, which I played a lot of games last year, but I was playing games a lot around that time. But I wasn't really like sentence minding, doing anything, getting new words. I wasn't talking to Japanese people too much either. I was kind of just like cruising, and there weren't really. I don't think I was getting like super much better or anything, but like I was like still like just chilling, having fun, like playing all my games. I played like 1,200 hours of PlayStation last year, all in Japanese, and I think that like I was just cruising by on all that. So by the time August came and I went to Japan for the first time, um, it was definitely weird because I never left the U.S. in terms of like living somewhere. Literally in May I went to Japan for the first time. So in such a short amount of time, I had to go. I went back to Japan after being there for the first time, and then I got to like live there for 3 months, and I think I don't know how to say this. There's a lot to talk about, so this might just like be random and feel random. And if anyone has any specific questions that I don't answer, please just put them in the comments. I just want to put that out of the way now because I can feel like that I'm gonna get to rambling. My first day in Japan when I got there from like to actually go for the internship was just it was a crazy feeling. It was like, whoa, okay, I'm here. And I immediately met with someone from the company that I was doing the internship at, and they took me to where I was in my apartment where I was living, and I was speaking Japanese the whole time. And I think the first thing that I realized from finally being in it, like already being in like a Japanese speaking environment, was that like I could understand what everyone said to me. Like if they was talking to me, like I had a good chance to understand them, especially if it was like just normal talking. Um, but man, I could not like I trying to express myself was so difficult, um, because I don't speak that much in Japanese and didn't speak that much in Japanese. I had a really close friend who was Japanese, but they were learning English, and we just got to a comfortable point where like it was just easier for both of us to like she spoke Japanese and I spoke English mostly the whole time. And there we would talk in Japanese sometimes and stuff, and I would speak. Like it was not like I never did, or that she wouldn't speak in English. But it was like primarily like we both spoke our native language, and the other person just understood because we got comfortable with each other, and like just our language abilities just got better. So I was talking like completely normal English to her, how I would talk to my friends in English, and she understood pretty much everything. And she was talking in fast kansai ben and shit, especially like when angry. But when speaking kansai ben, and I like picked all that up and got better at like listening to people like talk like just through that. So my listening abilities went really up from that because it was all on the phone and it wasn't really, there weren't ever video calls usually, so it was just like listening. So I got really good at that from that. But like I never really had the Japanese speaking practice, honestly. Like I would message people, and I think I'm pretty good at messaging to I like from then, and even better now because I met so many people in Japan. But like messaging honestly to me is like I can message at the same frequency that I'm messaging in English. It feels like it's super easy. I think it's because I just read a bunch, and because I message a bunch, I pick up on a bunch of patterns on how people talk, and I just regurgitate the fuck out of them. And I've gotten better, and it lets me think about my words a bit, so I can definitely be more articulate and say more things that I want to say. But yeah, the first thing I noticed was like, damn, dude, I can't get shit out. Like I'll think of like something in my head like I want to say, but then if I can't think of how to say it in Japanese immediately, 9 times out of 10 I just shut the fuck up, which is bad. I really, when I go back, and I'll talk more about that, but when I go back, I want to try and start like just saying things if it comes in my head, and if it comes out wrong, it doesn't matter. If they're not like a piece of shit, they're gonna correct me and help me out. So I want to start doing that because yeah, I'll have thoughts, and I'll be like, shit, did I hear that before? How do I say that? I would say it like this. Oh, is that part? Am I supposed to use a particle there? And then I start freaking out like in my head with shit like that. So I need to just like not. But like if someone asks me a direct question and I know like I can answer things and stuff, it's just I'm really bad at like continuing conversations to a certain point. Like if I run out of like the small amount of easy conversations and like questions that I can think of on the fly, once I get like to a deeper level, sometimes I can't really say anymore because I can't think of anything because of the pressure of being in a conversation. So it's like it sucks because like while I was there, like I was able to make some friends and hang out with Japanese people, and they never talked to me like I was dumb or like I didn't understand what they were saying. In fact, it was all the time like they would just talk like normal, and then they'd ask me like whatever, and then shiteru, and I'd be like, oh, shiteru. Like, and then they'd be like, and like, so like people would like normally just like be really just surprised at how much I knew and what I was understanding. But like me trying to like make conversation with someone who's not very good at conversation was very difficult for me, and it made me not want to go make friends, or it could be scared of making friends because man, it was like I feel like I have a big separation, I feel like, between my personality in Japanese and my personality in English. And I don't know if it comes across on the videos, but definitely like if you know me like personally you know me personally, I'm very like I talk a lot, and I'll make jokes on like as many things as I possibly can. I'm going to try and make a joke about it if I really think it's funny. And I'm quick on certain things, and like I can say funny shit like just out of nowhere, like, and like really like keep things going and like think of things. Like if I really am invested in a conversation, I will ask a lot of questions. I'll learn things. But like in Japanese, I feel like I'm not even close to that, and I feel like just like every time I talk to someone, I'm like almost fucking I feel like I'm just not me, and it's something that I'm really trying to work on because I have to get Japanese to a level where I feel comfortable that it is me, because at the current moment, even though I can talk to people and like I'm going to have a job in Japan where I speak only Japanese, we'll get to that in a bit, but I really need to get it to a point where like I can be comfortable with that being me, because if I'm going to live in Japan for X amount of time, like I don't want to always feel like I'm presenting someone that's different than who I am. And it's not to say that my Japanese like personality isn't me. I think this is something that everyone can probably agree with unless they're really good at this point. But like when you're not like at least at the beginning of like really trying to get like really better at speaking, like there's a big disconnect, it feels like. And like it's not that it's not me. It's definitely me. I'm still saying those words. I'm still thinking these thoughts and saying them if I say something. But it's just not like as true to my who I feel like is my personality, like at the core. Like I think being able to tell jokes or asking questions or having deep conversations and stuff is a core part of me as a personality, and I don't attach it to English. I attach it to me as like my existence, and the fact that I can't do that in Japanese, or I feel like I'm not portraying that exact same type of like I don't know, like that same type of thing. Like I feel it feels off, feels a little weird, and so it's like it was definitely difficult for me to make friends at certain points or put myself in situations to make friends. Um, but when I did hang out with people, I had a good time, and I was able to like meet a couple group of people. No, I'm very weird with my definition of friends. Like if we're not like super like I'm friends with a lot of people, but like my like true friends like they I don't have many of those, and they're very like small numbers. And it's like I in Japan they're all just like people I know. They're not really friends yet. There's like people I would like to get close to and hang out with more and do stuff with, but like right now it's just like, oh well, we met a couple times. Like it's and we had fun, like they were cool. We talk sometimes, like, or we talk like consistently, but it's like they're not my friend. So I'm still like relatively, I'd say I'm gonna be lonely when I go back, but I was lonely during the first 3 months for a very long time, probably up until um August onwards. I was really liking the internship. It was a lot of fun, but the like I just would go home and I would do nothing because I was tired, or I didn't have anywhere to go or things to do, or I couldn't think of anything, or just like it was very rare that I was doing things. And then like because I didn't have any friends, it was like if I did stuff I would do it all alone. And I also had some like some family stuff happen when I was there at first, and other personal life stuff happened too, that like kind of like I was really like fucking down in the dumps like some days, like I won't lie, I was like fuck like this is not fun at all. Like I would get up and I would go into the shower, and I remember like some days I would just think like I was like fuck dude, I just want to be able to stand here in this shower for the next 24 hours. I don't want to have to get out of it, because I knew if I got out of it I was gonna like have to go outside and like go to the internship, which wasn't bad or anything, but it was like I like sitting at a desk, like I didn't really, there wasn't too much, so I was kind of just sitting at a desk mostly on my computer, and it's like I don't know, it wasn't really fulfilling in any way. And then I would just go home and then fall asleep and wake up because I didn't have friends. So I was scared to try and make friends, or even I was scared to go to restaurants sometimes because like knowing like the idea, I was really really scared of just like having to talk to someone and it being like I just couldn't, like maybe I couldn't understand them, or like there was a new like thing I really had to navigate, and I was just like I'm already anxious in English to some degree. In English, like I'm anxious to some degree here, but like I'm used to life. I'm 22, almost 23. I'm used to doing a lot of things and I've done them so many times, so like I don't really get anxious about most things like that anymore. But like there I was like fuck, like just going to this place and ordering something, like they're gonna ask me these questions, and then like I'm gonna be worried about holding up the line behind me if I don't understand right away, or if I have to ask for it again. And I was just like really like I was worried. Like I was like fuck, this is not fun. Like I'm shit. Like I'm bad at Japanese, and it's just like I don't even think I was bad. It was just like I wasn't. Whenever I put myself in those situations, I normally succeeded. It's just I was terrified of not. I was terrified of putting myself in those situations. Like there was an izakaya I wanted to go to, and it took me like 3 walks around it to get into it, because I was just like I was like fuck dude, like fuck. All I have to do is like like hitori de like, and then they'll ask me if it's a counter or a booth, and I'm like I'll count it in daijoubu desu. Like that's all I gotta do. But instead I'm freaking out. I'm like I can't do this. So yeah, shit like that was like scary. I was just bad. Like I was not having good times. Like I was just like sad, like for a good amount, honestly. But like it's not like every second I was sad or hated Japan. It wasn't that. It was just there was a lot of like new things at once and a lot of things happening at once that it was just overwhelming. But like I'll go outside, like I would if I would sleep all day like a bum because I couldn't I just had to rot in bed that day. I'd wake up and I'd go to karaoke at like 2 in the morning. If I didn't have work the next day, I'd go till like 2 to 5, and I would literally like the walk to karaoke. I'd be like, man, I just fucking like I would feel so good. But it was awesome. I'm getting karaoke. I'm singing my heart out to some anime songs like Stupid Weeb and like some other songs that I like. And I have my Spotify open. I'm scrolling through. I'm just singing songs. I'm having the time of my life. Walk out of there like you're fucking 6 hours deep because you get that Nomi Hodai, and like you're just walking like from the karaoke back to your apartment, and like the morning sun and like just the buildings and like the sounds and like the smell and everything. I'm like walking. I'm like, God damn, my life is so fucking good. Like there would be times where like I'd be like crying that day because something bad happened. I'd go to karaoke. I'd walk out, or I'd just like go somewhere, or I'd hang out with someone that I was like kind of scared to hang out with, but I said, yeah, I'll go. I fucking like some of those days I was just like, damn, this is the best. Like I have pictures from around where I lived that I took in the morning because I was like, God damn, the world is so beautiful. Like, and I just took a picture. I'm like, this is awesome. And like I would get really like introspective with shit like that. But the one thing I did do is, even if I wasn't going out of my way to meet people too much, I met a good amount of people. It's like more than I expected. But the first August, September was like nothing. Halfway through October is probably when I started meeting people. If someone asked me to do something, if they were like, hey, do you want to come to this? I said yes every single time. That was the one thing that I was 100% sure of, that I was going to do. I didn't want to, like, even if I wasn't going to go out of my way to ask people to do things or ask people to hang out, if I was asked, I definitely made sure I said yes because it was good. And every time I did that, I had fun. And I met someone online, and then they had like this like little event thing. I went, and from there I met like three other cool people. No, four other cool people. Two of them I have on Snapchat, and one of them I have a streak with, which is funny. I don't have any streaks really anymore on Snapchat, but I have one with this Japanese dude I met that one day. And then from there I met another person who I actually hung out with a couple times after the fact. So every time I've gone, or if like I gotta use the dating apps, if like someone wanted to meet up or stuff, or I met someone who was like, oh, they seem cool, I'll meet with them, and they want to, I'll meet up. It was cool. I was being able to just like see people and like meet some new people, and like that was a lot of fun. And that made like the end of October all the way till mid-November when I left, like super fun. But it also just like it was like so sad at the same time, because like I'm getting ready to leave and I'm just thinking like, fuck, dude, like I literally just started having fun. Like I got all these new friends. I'm hanging out with people. Like there's this girl I like. Like I'm like holy shit, shit's like going well. And then like I'm like, fuck, I have to leave in like 10 days. And it's just like, it was the worst feeling in the world. And I was just like, fuck. And that's when I started getting, this is like beginning of November, I started getting super fucking like upset like about having to leave, because I was like, okay, I really do like it here. I definitely went through a lot of like not fun parts, but I think overall, this, at least for now, Japan is like a place I want to be. And I was looking for jobs, like applying. There's a website, it's called Duda, but it's spelled Doda. If you can read Japanese, you can apply for jobs on there, and you can get a job in Japan if you have a degree. Because it's like literally like everything is, at least for what I was looking at, is like quick apply basically on LinkedIn. You basically just do that. And I was literally applying, like quick applying to like hundreds of companies a day for like 2 weeks straight. And every time I would get a message back, if they would ask about visa, I'd say I don't have a visa. I had everything like typed up. I don't have a visa, but like I'll if you offer visa support, that would be great. If not, thank you for your time and everything. And I would get some emails back, be like, we don't offer visa support. That was most of them. So be prepared for that. There's a lot of no, we don't accept. We will not support you. And after going through the process, they really don't have to do that much. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, interesting. But like the support, most will not support you. But I got some interviews with companies that would support visas. Had a couple interviews. Had one online interview, and then like basically an hour after the online interview, they were like, "Oh, we want to meet you in person with the shacho," and I'm like, all right, cool. It got that set up, and like the week after, I go in person to the office, and I have an in-person interview, fully in Japanese, mind you. The job is fully Japanese. Have the job interview. At the end of the job interview, like it seemed like they were ready to hire me that second. Like they were like chill. They were like super like. It was like I knew that it went well. I was like, oh god, they're like talking about like keeping me updated and like figuring out stuff with visas. And I'm like, okay, that basically means I got this job, right? So I'm like walking out of there. I got my fucking suit on because I had to get a suit like 2 days before. It was insane. Like I walked into Aoyama and I'm like, listen, I got mensetsu ga aru desu kedo. I'm like, suits ga nai desu. And so I'm like, please, I need a suit for shukatsu. And then the shushoku, I forget the word, dude. See, I'm just Japanese is hard. But like I need it for. I'm looking for a job. I need a suit. I have an interview in 2 days. Like please. And they're like, I came like an hour before the place closed. I felt so bad. I'm walking in. I'm like, I'm so sorry that it's so close to closing. And she was so chill. She like helped me through it. We got everything like checked up. They got it tailored. Picked it up the next day. Next day was my interview, and I fucking went. I walked out of that interview. I'm feeling great. I'm like, I just fucking killed it. I think I just got a job in Japan. Holy shit. I like walk to there's a Family Mart. I go get Famichiki because I love Famichiki. I go get one of those. I get Pinot, the ice cream as well, and a Pocari Sweat, and I'm just sitting on the side of the road, on the side, John, just like sitting there, eat my food, fucking chilling. I'm like, damn, I think I just got a job. I turn around behind me, there's a giant ass book off. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to book off. I'm walking to book off. I'm like, oh, what do we got? And I see like, I as in high school we watched it. We read And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. And I was like wondering if they made a Japanese translation. I found out they did. Never found it, but I found one. I walked in to Book Off, and it was there on the shelf. But like the cover was like anime people, which was so funny. So I was like, oh, I'm definitely getting anime version of And Then There Were None. So I bought that. I found Persona 4 on the PS2, which was the only Persona game I needed to basically have them all physically in Japanese. Because I have Persona 3 Append, and Persona 3 FES on PlayStation 2 in Japanese. So I just need Persona 4, and I found it. I was like, yes, I get those 2 games. I'm like walking around the Book Off. I'm like, man, Book Off's great. I'm just looking around, having a good time. Buy my stuff, walk outside, start looking for the bus. Looking for the bus. Bus stop. Forgot the word stop. And I'm walking there. And I'm like, man, this is just, I think I do great. I'm super excited. Like, I'm like, holy shit. Like, maybe I'm going to get a job in Japan. That'd be awesome. And then check my email, and there's already a fucking email from the company. Like, yeah, we want to hire you. And I'm like, let's fucking go. So I'm like popping off, like in the side, on like walking to the bus. Like in my head, I'm listening. I got my AirPods in. I'm listening to music, but I'm like, let's fucking go. And like that, like was just, man, that day changed me. That changed my life. I was like, holy fuck. Like, this was probably like a week or 2 before I was leaving Japan. So I was in panic mode of like, and I was applying to jobs in America too. Cause I'm like, I need a fucking job. Like I spent so much money on all of this stuff. Like in the last year, I need money. I need a full-time job. Like I graduated, I need a full-time job. It needs to happen. Whether it's in Japan or the US, we got to get one. So I'm applying to jobs in America, super stressed because the job market sucks shit. I don't know if you guys all know that, but the job market is terrible. So I'm freaking out about that. So and I'm applying in Japan too, and then that's when I come to the realization I want to stay in Japan. So it's like if I don't get a job in Japan, I have to go back to the U.S., work for a couple years, and just be sad. So it's like fuck, I don't want that to happen. So then I get this email and I'm like, holy fuck, like I'm moving to Japan. And then it was like within the next week I was taking all my documents for the certificate of eligibility for the visa. I was taking them to immigration, filling out these forms, talking in Japanese with the immigration lady about the forms and what I needed to do, and like when I would get notified and like certain things like that. And like I walked out of the immigration like holy fuck, like I'm doing this. Hopefully I don't get denied. And that was I dropped those papers off on November 14th, 2023. I left on November 16th or 17th, 2023. It was with a couple days to spare, and that began the longest waiting period of my entire life of hell. It sucks. And if anyone's gone through the wait for the certificate of eligibility, you guys know, especially if like you're like in your mind, like it's basically, I put all my eggs in one basket because I had this job. Once I got the job offer from Japan, I did not apply to any more jobs in America whatsoever. So it was like if I get denied, I'm like I lost months on a job search like a fucking idiot. But like I wasn't gonna put myself through the stress and the hell of job applications if I already had a job, you know. So I was saving myself. But that it took about 2.5 months. I got the email on January 15th, 2024. So almost exactly 2 months. From the thing, and that whole 2 months, every single day, all I was thinking was, what if I get denied? If I get denied, then I have to live in America, and so there's something about me, don't like driving, really don't like driving, can do it, don't want to do it, don't want to pay for a car, too much money, stupid, not a fan. So Japan, perfect, don't have to worry about that, especially if I'm living in the city, which I am. So, awesome. But if I come back to America, I have to buy a car, I have to pay for gas, I have to drive, I have to like move somewhere, and it was all like things I did not want to do because I wanted to go to Japan. Like even if I somehow got denied for some reason, and this company told me to fuck off, I was still going to apply to Japanese companies. Like I was going to do that until I got a job in Japan because that's how much I wanted to go back. And everything like worked out. I got I'm thinking that. I'm thinking like just like every free moment my head would just be like, when am I going to get this fucking email? I check my email every single day. Even after I put everything in immigration, and a week after I was checking my email every day. And when the lady at immigration told me it would take 2 months, I would still check my email every single day from like day 3. Like I couldn't stop. I was obsessed about it, and I was terrified. I was so anxious. It was crazy. Like I was luckily I haven't had to really do anything since I've been back in the US while waiting for this job. I'm at my parents' house and I have enough money for like my student loans and everything. But like I was like, there were days where I couldn't do anything because I would just like, all I would think about was this, and I was just like, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Like I need to know that I'm going because I have all these friends now, and like these people like I'm talking to online every single day, and it's like, man, I told them I'm coming back, and now if I don't come back, it's like, well then I effectively lost them as a friend, really, because like they weren't close enough to be able to last being far apart anyway. So if I'm not coming back in February like I said I would most likely would, then it's like I'm probably not going to talk to these people ever or very often anymore. And it's like, fuck, dude, like come on, like why is this shit happening? And like I live in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing here, so it is boring as fuck. And it's just like in high school for fun we went to Walmart and walked around Walmart. So that gives you like an idea of where I'm living. But yeah, I was terrified the whole time. So when I got that email, I literally like read I saw the email in my inbox, froze for 5 to 10 seconds, clicked on it, and then when I saw that like I was given the visa, I literally like I just started uncontrollably crying. Like I couldn't even like I just like I saw the thing, and then I like there were just tears running down my face cuz I felt like the stress that I felt every single day for those 2 months like came out of my body at once, and I could finally like semi relax because at that point I already figured out where I was living, and I got like shit's like done. So I was like literally like I just need this visa to be 100% so that it doesn't fuck up my like I don't have to beg for a refund for where I'm living, and that I can just like figure out what the next steps are and start doing things. So it was a rough 2 months. Um but I'm I got the I don't forget the whole name of the visa, but the engineering whatever hum, humanity specialist, something like that visa. I got a 3-year visa. Um, and one thing that I learned from the process is online. I always read that you couldn't get a job in Japan straight out of graduation from the U.S. You need like work experience. Your only option is the JET program or teach me English. And I was also applying for English stuff on the side, but I didn't want to do that. Honestly, it was just going to be a thing that I used to get in, and then I did that for the 1 year while also looking for a job somewhere else. Like that was going to be the whole thing. But all I did was I graduated college with a bachelor's degree. I had 2 internships while I was in college. One for 4 months, the other one for probably like a year and a half, honestly, and then the 3 months in Japan. And the 3 months in Japan weren't even connected to any of my previous internships or connected to the job that I have now. And the job that I'm gonna have now isn't fully connected to my previous internships. If anything, it's more connected to my college experience rather than anything that I've done in my internships. But you can get a job in Japan straight out of graduation if that's something you want. If you just you gotta look for it, and you gotta hope that you get a company that likes you enough, and you gotta know Japanese. If you don't know Japanese, you're fucked. Okay, that's probably true. But if you know Japanese to like fluent level, if you think you can navigate a Japanese job interview, um, and like maybe I just got lucky and my company's just chill, and also because I'm a foreigner, they're most companies probably, if they're bringing you in for a job interview, especially in person, they're probably not gonna nitpick every single aspect of your Japanese or your manners or everything, or like every single thing, like to make sure you're 100% Japanese. So as long as you like are nice and like try to use des and mas as much as you can, and like be like slow, careful, and like just say good things, no one's gonna really. I don't think they're gonna. I think they'll be like, oh, they'll be like, yeah, nice. Like, so just don't feel like you have to be perfect in the job interview. Didn't really try to be. I never try to be perfect in job interviews. I just answer whatever they ask me, and that's what I did here. And I just did it in Japanese, and it worked. So, I think it's possible if you want to work in Japan to work in Japan, even without actual experience in a job. So if you are getting close to graduating college and you want to move to Japan and do that after college, you can do it. It's not. I don't think it's. I think I also definitely got lucky, and because there wasn't that many companies that would even talk to me or give me an interview. So the fact that I found one that did and liked me enough to where it was very quick, the whole process. Yeah, you can do it. Just you got to keep trying. If anyone has any questions or things about what I did specifically, you can ask me in the comments, DM me on Twitter, Discord. Preferably Discord, honestly. It's where I check the most and where you're most likely to get a response. But yeah, it's like it's definitely possible. And I'm it doesn't feel real yet still. I'm waiting to get my actual visa from the consulate. Once you get the certificate of eligibility, you got to send stuff to your nearest consulate of Japan, and then they'll actually give the visa in your passport, send it back to you, then you can go. So I'm waiting on that right now. It's supposed to be done on the 29th, and then I just got to wait for it to get back to me. Um, so my plan is early February. I should be flying back to Japan. Um, how do I feel about this? Every emotion that you could possibly feel. I think I'm terrified because I'm going to be a Japanese salaryman, and you know I think like based on my company and everyone in it and like the contract and things like my my contract is pretty bog standard for what you're gonna get as a shinsotsu in Japan in Tokyo. That's I think it's very seems to be on brand, like basically where it's at, and so it's shit. That's what it is. But I'll be okay. I know what to do. I'm figuring shit out. But like also like I'm moving across the entire world from everyone that I'm friends with and all my family members, and that's kind of scary to be far away from people for that long, for 3 years at least, because I'm not gonna have a lot of money to be able to buy a flight back to the U.S. So it's a possibility I'm in Japan for 3 years straight. um, so it's like having to say goodbye for that long sucks, but I'm also super excited because like I feel like I get to get out of this small town. I'm not living in Tokyo. I'm working in Tokyo. I'm living in Kanagawa, but being able to like be around other humans and like people my age and being able to go places and do stuff, and then I have a job where I get to actually like it's a career like because I'm a seishain. So if you know how that works, I'm if as long as I don't completely fuck up terribly and the company doesn't go under, I have the job for ever. um, so yeah, it's like it's gonna be just a bunch of new, and I think that's really exciting. But that's why it's also scary because I don't know how things work. So if anyone has advice, please let me know. But yeah, I'm just waiting on that. Uh, I am gonna release a video of me speaking Japanese. I don't know if I'm gonna film. Probably not gonna film it right now after this. I'm probably just gonna, you know, get this video ready for upload, put it up tomorrow. Maybe I don't know. It might be the 25th of 25th of January if you're watching this. If I actually put it up, but yeah, like my life from now is just I'm gonna be moving to Japan. Which is kind of crazy. I'll be spending my 23rd birthday in Japan. That's cool. Um, yeah. I don't know. I'm in terms of Japanese stuff. I've been reading a bunch of manga. I've been playing a bunch of games still. I think I've read over 50 volumes of manga in January, and I haven't read for the past like 5-6 days, maybe week. So I read a lot of manga pretty quickly in this month. Playing games a lot. Going through the entire Persona series. I've done Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, Persona 3 Portable, Persona 3 Dancing, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 4 Dancing, Persona 4 Fighting, Persona 5, Persona 5 Dancing, Persona 5 Strikers, and I'm on Persona 5 The Royal now. I'm doing them all in a row, platinums. So I'm getting all the trophies in all those games. So, and I have Tactica, and then Reload comes out on the 2nd. So I'm gonna finish up the entire Mega 10 series that you can do on PlayStation with trophies. So that's what I'm in. That's where my gaming's going to now. Using Anki again. I have a streak going actually. Like I've only missed one day this year, and honestly, I think I just got fucked over. I think I didn't miss it. I think I fucked up with the syncs. I tried to use it on my laptop and then my computer, and I screwed it up. So I missed one day this year. But other than that, I'm doing Anki every day, trying to learn new words. Maybe not every day, but trying to learn new words semi-consistently. And I'm just doing that to get better at Japanese before I go. Texting Japanese people a lot. Don't really talk in like I just talk to myself out loud in Japanese. So I'm not really getting any feedback on speaking practice really yet. But once I move, I'll be talking to Japanese people every day, and I can't escape it. So I'm not too worried. One thing that people tell me about my Japanese, I've been told multiple times that I have a good accent, and I don't agree. I've been maybe I do, and I just don't notice it. But I've been paying attention to pitch accent a lot more whenever I look up a word on Anki and make a card about it, or even just look up the word. I play the Forvo audio clip and I pay attention to the pitch accent graph and keep it in my head. And if I make a card, I definitely have pitch accent on there, and I can easily hear it. I have no problem hearing pitch accent in words by themselves. Like, it's definitely easy as hell now. And sometimes in YouTube videos, depending on the word, like it maybe not in a sentence, or maybe in a sentence, but very rarely, I can hear the pitch on words. So if it's like one word, like I can definitely get it usually. But if it's a sentence, like depending on if it's a word I've heard a lot, or if it's a word that I've done specifically in Anki, then I know that I've paid attention when I looked it up. Like, okay, the pitch is this, and I said it a couple times. I'll notice those in everyday speech as well. But people always complimented me on my accent before I even did this, and I don't know if that was them being nice or if they actually believe that, because like I tell them not to like I tell people to keep it honest with me. Like, I tell them that, and I don't know if they actually are, because you never really know with Japanese people. But I've heard some, I've gotten some praise on my accent, which I don't get it. And when I put out my speaking video, maybe people will destroy me in the comments and say your accent does suck, and that's okay if it does, because I assume it does. But it's something I'm actively like paying attention to a bit more and trying to get better at. I've been told that my text messages, like people, like there's this one person that I've been friends with for a couple months, and they've told me multiple times that like sometimes it feels like they're just texting a Japanese person, and they like forget that I'm like American. And I've been told that by the Kansai-jin friend as well. That like at times where she like would think of me as as a Japanese person rather than American, even though I was speaking English. Because I understood everything she was saying as if it was nothing, and didn't ask questions. It was as if she was talking to a Japanese person. So I've been told that multiple times in different contexts. So I think that's cool. But I don't think I'm gonna be I don't want to be a Japanese person. I'm gonna work, and I'm trying to be as close to a Japanese person as I can, so I don't fuck up like the dynamics and like how things work, especially in the workplace. I'm gonna try and just be like, as Japanese as I can, where I should be, and like using common sense, obviously. But I'm an American. I'm American. That's just me forever. So I don't have the illusion that I'm gonna become Japanese, neither do I want it. That sounds like hell. Like, I think part of me is Japanese to some degree, and I think anyone who learns a language to a high enough ability and immerses themselves in the culture, and as much to live there for a certain amount of time, or prepare to live there, I think part of you has to become that language, and I think that's normal. So like, am I Japanese? No, but like, because of how much I have the like immersion and understanding and just direct contact with the Japanese language and its culture through that and its people, part of me is Japanese, and it has to be, because when I'm speaking Japanese or I'm understanding Japanese, I can't operate like an American. I have to operate like I'm Japanese. So yeah, I think it's cool that like learning a language is, you kind of make a second part of you, like a second like version. Like there's American me, there's Japanese me. I think that's kind of cool. I said that earlier that I thought I don't like it that much, and I wish it was more similar. I still agree with that, but I think the concept of learning a new language and it basically creating another identity for yourself in that language is really cool. And because it's different. You can't learn a language with the idea that you are a person of who you are. Like, I can't be like, I'm an American learning Japanese. Like, in order to really learn Japanese, I have to be like, my head's Japanese. Like, when I'm listening to Japanese, head's in Japanese mode. Like, we're not thinking, like, we're not American right there. We have to be Japanese, or else you wouldn't understand it. You wouldn't understand it to the level that you would want to understand it. So I think people have talked about that before on some update videos. I think I've heard about that. But I think Japanese, like, learning, if there's one thing I can say for the last like 3.5 years, is that like the journey of learning this language or any language or doing something like a large project like this over a long period of time and actually making progress and succeeding in a bunch of ways and having it affect your life in such pivotal ways is one of the coolest feelings ever. And the journey taught me a lot. I'm way different, I think, in a lot of my. I think people. I'm probably largely the same in certain ways from when I started learning Japanese hardcore, but I'm also completely different in so many others, and it's like it's really cool. It's hard to explain, and I don't really have the words to explain it. It's just like this shit changes you, and your life. You think about a bunch of different things, and you have to believe in yourself in certain ways that like you might not have had to before, and it gives you like the strength to do other things because you know you've done this. So I think it's pretty cool. I don't really have too much else to say. I know this was a rambling thing for 46 minutes, but I think it probably gave a good insight into my mind about the whole experience in Japan. I didn't go into details about some other things, like exactly what the internship was or exactly what my job will be from now on, but like I don't think that's important. I think the feelings around Japan and my experience and that I want to go back and that I'm going to live a life there, I think those are all more important than that. If you guys have any questions though about anything, like I said, you can put in the comments. I'll probably stay up to date with those pretty good. Twitter DMs, you can. I just want to warn, I'm really bad at DMs in general, and anyone who's messaged me and has talked to me knows this, and I'm so sorry. But like I'm trying to be better. But part of trying to be better is I'm keeping it to like Discord. If you contact me on Discord, it might take me a little bit to get back, but I will get back to you on Discord. So try to message me on Discord if you want like the best chance of me responding, because I always have Discord open. My main ones are like Discord, Snapchat, kind of, and Line. But Discord and Line, like if you have me on Discord or you have me online, you're gonna get a response. That's basically how it goes, I think. But yeah, my room's a mess still, as you can see. I'm packing shit. I'm gonna have to like really start packing soon. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, ask me. I'll answer if it's about Japan, not about Japan. My Japanese, if you want to hear more about that. I just don't think there's too much to talk about. I'll show it off in my speaking video. Like that's where I can speak to. You can be comfortable that I can interact with most things that I want to interact with and not feel like it's hard or anything. Like if I want to interact with it, I can understand it usually. It's so I'm not worried about understanding or anything. My speaking, you'll see, I want to get better, but it will get better because I'm working in a Japanese company, so it has to get better. So I'm not too worried about anything. I'm just taking it as we go from here. And yeah, I would like to make a video in Japan at some point. If you guys want me to start making more, maybe not consistent videos, but videos about my life in Japan, if there's any specific advice you guys want that you think a full video would be good, put in the comments, and then other people respond, be like, yeah, dude, that's a good idea, do that video. Tell me stuff like that. So, and I'll make more videos if you want. But the next video will be me speaking Japanese about anything. I'm probably just going to go on a rant about something or whatever I can think of in the moment. So, yeah, you can have that to look forward to. But I think I covered a good amount of stuff here. Sorry, once again, that it's all over the place. This outro is all over the place, I know. But I think that's the best thing. I think I like turning on the camera and just talking. And I think I get my genuine self and my genuine feelings. And you see how my brain works, like I'm jumping. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Watch my other video. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Add me on Discord if you want to talk to me on Discord. Everything is in the description, as well as my anime list and my book meter accounts. I have to close one of my book meter accounts, the one with my light novels, because I lost the email, so I can't log into that. So I need to make another one once I finish up a novel, which I'm 100% going. Jesus, we're finishing it this year. Okay, it's happening. Ningen Shikaku is getting finished. I'm listening with an audiobook as I read, and it's awesome. Already 40 pages in. We got this. It's happening. All right. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.